What's going on, everybody? This is Drake Browning, and today, I was sitting around my pond today, and it was so relaxing. I felt a sense of, just being calm around here at the pond. And I started thinking, I was like, that's like a home team. Whenever they're playing at home, they're comfortable. They can find their rhythm. They can get into a routine because they know the procedures. You're able to hear the quarterback say, "Hut," or you can hear the clap, or whatever procedure you have to snap the football. However, there's going to be a time where you may have to go on the road. You may have to travel into an environment that is not comfortable, an environment that is booing you, and you don't have mama's cooking. So today, I want to go through a couple of clips and show you why it is so difficult at the collegiate level and pro level to go on the road and get a win. Football is a game that comes down to execution, and football is a game if you execute, your first two steps are so important because it puts you in a position to execute. But if you're on the road and playing in front of 90,000 people, how can you execute silently to still position yourself to succeed? So today we're just going to look at how hard it is to play on the road, or how offenses no longer have an advantage of knowing a snap count because now we got to find a way to snap the ball. Okay, so one of the things that makes playing on the road very difficult is traditionally the offense knows the snap count when we're going to snap the ball. Well, whenever you're playing in Sanford Stadium or Tiger Stadium or any other stadium that can get really loud, okay, you can't hear anything. So if you can't hear the quarterback say "hut," or if you can't hear him clap his hands together, you have a problem because now you're just like the defense and you don't know when the ball is about to be snapped. So we have to know how to communicate. And here, Arkansas, they're going to communicate by having their center look at the quarterback, and then he's going to be able to give him a go. Now, right here, he's not really looking at the quarterback, but the offensive line, because they're trying to look for movement, Georgia's going to stem their front, and whenever they stem the front, it's going to make that right tackle move. So they see all the stemming, and in his mind, he's thinking, "Oh, man, we might have snapped the ball, and I didn't know," because he can't hear. He's trying to anticipate the snap count. So because he's trying to anticipate the snap count, whenever their defense shifts, this like all of them move. So in his mind, he's like, "Oh, man, we might have snapped the ball." And then he realizes nobody snapped the ball. Is that Arkansas has their center looking back. All right, so the quarterback here, Jefferson, is going to let him know that he's ready. All right, so now the center knows he's ready. But again, the offensive line is still trying to anticipate the snap count. The ball has been snapped. You see how the left side is still, going good, but look at this right tackle. He hasn't even moved yet. This guy still hasn't moved. This guy's just now getting out of his stance. They're in a decent position. That's okay. These guys are in a decent position. This guy still hasn't moved. So whenever we're playing on the road, we're actually no longer having an advantage of knowing a snap count because we kind of have to guess, stimulate, and just be alert. Okay, and that could put us a step behind. So now imagine if you're in pass pro and you go to snap the ball and you're a step behind, and that's a really good pass rusher. Okay, so like that's some of the what I call neutralizations that can take place whenever you're playing on the road. Okay, so the way this is coached is whenever the center knows, all right, KJ's done doing all his perimeter checks. All right, whenever he looks at the center, he's getting ready to snap the ball. When he looks at the center's immediately getting ready to snap the ball. He looks back up, and then he's going to snap the ball. Okay, and again, you see this right tackle right here. We just got done talking about snap counts and being out of position. Let me go back. We just talked about being out of position. The ball snapped. Got to think about it. Tackles are the farthest from the quarterback, so it's hard to hear and see what's going on. All right, so here, because he's already out of position due to a snap count, he's one step behind, gives up penetration, and he doesn't give up the sack, but it could have been if the guard didn't whiff there. All right, now I wanted to include this one. This is another way to do a silent count, and in my opinion, if I was a college coach, this is probably how I would do it. We're going to have the guard right here. You see number 55, this guard right here. All right, this guard has his eyes on the quarterback. All right, so the quarterback here is going to make his adjustments. All right, now, the reason I like this better is the center doesn't have to look at the quarterback the entire time. Because at the collegiate level or higher levels, whatever, the center starts making calls. So the center's telling the guards and the tackles how they're going to fan block, how they're going to protect, how they're going to slide, half slide, full slide, all those things. The center has to make that call, but he needs to know where's the three technique, where's the shade, are they odd? These are things that he has to know. And if he's looking at the quarterback, he's not going to know those things. He's not going to be able to properly make the adjustments. So what Pittsburgh and a lot of teams do is they're going to have their guards look. And right here, Kenny Pickett, the quarterback here, watch his foot. He's going to pick his foot up and put it down. That's Kenny Pickett's way of telling this guard, I'm ready. Guard taps the center. Now the center snaps the ball. Now, this still doesn't help the offensive line with their neutrality, but it does help with the communication between the center and the line. They can still communicate, talk, make a few calls. Now, it's still hard because you're on the road, but this helps the center be able to wash things out, communicate, get everybody accounted for, and then we still have to play football. But that's why when you study college football, like the home field advantage is a real thing, and it's not just because they're home. Being at home in a large stadium has a huge impact because it changes how you even get the play started. All right, last clip I'll show you just in terms of getting the play started. Let's look here at the same guard, number 55. He's got his eyes back on Pickett. All right, the quarterback, Kenny, picks his foot up, puts it down. That immediately tells the guard, I'm ready. All right, center snaps the ball. Now he gets the ball in his hands. We still have the two guards. They're not even out in their stance yet. Tackles are starting to get that first kick slide back in. But now that's one of the disadvantages of playing on the road. But at least I like the communication front because the center can still see. We have a cleaner chance to snap the football, be in communication, and be ready to make a play. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, this was just kind of like a little video that I just wanted to make today to kind of show you, if you're a college football fan, you're watching your team go on the road on Saturdays, you can kind of see going on the road is a big deal. That's why even if you're Alabama and you go to Vanderbilt, you have a chance to be upset because when you start entering into these big stadiums, you find yourself in a situation to where, how are we going to communicate? Can we snap the ball? And are we going to be able to make our adjustments and play? And it gives the defense an advantage because even though they don't know the snap count, now the offense doesn't know the snap count.